in the whole T.S. Madison arena. People gravitated to me and they found me very interesting. I've been blogging for about I would say about 15 years, and
Mm.
I've had some great feats. I've had some I've had some public scandal. I've had lots of stuff, and people have followed me, for the years throughout it all. And I've become very vocal about things that go on in my community, as far as being a transgender, African American transgender woman, and also, just black, and all things black. So, people follow me for that.
And we're going to come back to that in just a moment. What can you say to all of the young, up and coming entrepreneurs like myself, TS? I only have 900 followers on Facebook. I'm trying to get up to 500,000. So talk about the persistence. You said you've been doing this for 15 years, and it wasn't overnight success.
No.
You had to work your way to get there. Tell us about the importance of just staying on that grind.
Well, I mean, I had to work myself to get there. I'm still working. I encounter lots of setbacks. Hell, I even had a real difficult setback today. That kind of shook me up a little bit and kind of changed my mood. But my whole thing is, what's for you is for you, and as long as you stay persistent and run the race, you'll get to the finish line. No matter who passes you, the race is given, honey, to the resilient. So, the swift might get it, but they may fall out at the end, honey. But I'm the girl that's going to run that thing or run it around until I win it. And I think that for up and coming people, that is what you should have in your mind. You may not win this Friday, but maybe 2 Fridays from now, you may be the gold medal champion. So just keep running. And you too, Brandon. You're a nice looking man. All the ladies should be following you right now. So ladies, if you out there watching and you just now running across the Brandon Holt show, these are eye candy. So keep looking at him. Follow him. Stuff to say.
So I want to ask you this question. What do you wish that people really understood about you? This is your moment right now to talk to the world. What does T.S. Madison wish that people understood about her?
That I'm human. I wish they understood that I was human. A lot of times I get put in positions where I think that they dehumanize me, and they take away. I might be social media famous, and I might have, invaded spaces in people's lives, but sometimes I don't think people really see me as a human being. And they don't see a lot of people that are stars. Like, I'm nowhere on the Cardi B, Nicki Minaj level, Beyonce. But I think that, I experienced a lot of the stuff, a lot of the hate, and a lot of the love and the hate. But I don't think people really understand that we're human. We're human, and it's just like, we don't have superhuman powers. It might seem like it, but we're human beings, and we're judged so heavy. Like, if I do anything wrong, I'm human. It might happen. If I make a mistake, if I fail at something, I'm human. It's a possibility that it will happen. So please allow me to be human.
Do you ever feel the pressure to perform every day, just day in and day out? Do you ever just feel like, okay, here's another day, I have to go out and be T.S. Madison?
I do every day. And then, definitely today. Today was a very, very trying day for me. And, I still have to put on a pretty face, and I still have to show up. And this is why I say people don't realize that you're human, because you still have to show up, whether you're happy or you're sad, but I still have to show up. And it gets tiring sometimes. And this is why I tell people, even like yourself, Brandon, that you have to unplug. You got to unplug. You got to take a break. You got to for yourself, and you just have to really, really ground yourself. And when you make that statement and say that I'm human, you really have to go and take a human moment and be like, girl or sir, I'm human, and I need this moment to recharge. Because the energy can be sucked out of you by trying to put on a good show, by trying to be, just what you've dreamed of being, but walking in a space where you're held to a place of perfection, and you have to be like, oh, I need a break.
So TS, tell me about that time where you felt like giving up and you say, you know what, I'm done with this. I'm walking away. I'm tired of all of what comes around being a public figure. How did you handle that moment?
Um, I have lots of those moments. Lots. There's like, especially times when, I get, I just become a part of a public ridicule.
Mm,
It happens to me a lot, when people try to come online, some people that were close to you or people that were just around you just occupied a moment of your life and they try to scandalize your name. And
mm,
sometimes this stuff makes you just want to just be like, well, God, I just want to quit. But then you really have to surround yourself with people who either are like you or have been occupied that space that you're trying to occupy, and just look to them or look to them for comfort or just words of advice or words that will hold you together. Because once again, when you human, there are times that I want to that I want to go out the deep end, or I want to just do what I would normally do as a human being, but then I have to save face and stuff. And it gets to that space where I just have to get in the mirror and be like, girl, this is a part of it. Like, girl,
mm,
this is what you wanted. All of this. You just can't drink the wealth. You gotta go through the dirt. You gotta go through you gotta learn from it. You have to learn from it. Like, and I'm really in a process now that I'm learning from lots of stuff. You guys have really caught me in the middle of lots of tumultuous day today.
mm.
And then this month has been really aggravating for me.
So,
And
mm,
I'm just personally, I'm going through a lot that, these questions, I have to say this stuff out loud and then absorb it and be like,
mm,
Madison, girl, this what you signed up for. When you put your name on the application, girl, this is a part of it.
mm.
So you can't give this up, girl. This is the job you wanted. And that's what you have to do. When this is the job that you want, you gotta go through the situations.
And TS, we as public figures, people in the camera, we can't worry about what people say about us. Because if you know what your purpose is and you know what your mission is and what you're trying to accomplish, you just got to keep pushing and don't listen to all of the negativity. Let's jump out to the LGBT community. You are an activist for the community. What exactly does that mean?
Well, I mean, I speak up a lot. Like, my voice is big, my presence is big. And, I might not be there on the front line all the time walking and marching, but I'm definitely bringing awareness to things that people who might not, or who might not even pay it any attention, but might pay me attention. That, I bring awareness to this stuff. I give money, to things. I'm advocating by, bringing heavy conversations, communicating with leaders and stuff. And, really for me, it's bringing lots of awareness to the people who wouldn't normally just pay any of that stuff any attention. Because some people just come to me because they're like, well, I'm funny. But if I have an opportunity to make you laugh, I can educate you and also inform you of, the need for you to show up in our community as an ally, or the need for you to be, aware that I'm Black, I'm trans, I'm human just like you. So I need you, even if it's something that you may not accept, I need you to respect and understand that, we share this world together. And so that's how my activism works. I use my platform, to bring awareness, heavy awareness to stuff.
So TS, you have some big projects coming out. Talk about what's next for TS Madison.
What's next for TS Madison is I'm definitely under wraps for not being able to talk about a lot of stuff, but I will tell you this: a lot of my mob that is out there watching, a lot of things that we've prayed for and you guys have followed me for are definitely unfolding and coming into fruition. I'm being met with obstacles with certain things, but we on the way, girl. Just keep your eyes open, honey.
So everybody, that's TS Madison. One more question for you, TS.
Yes.
How does faith play a part in your journey?
Oh, faith is the number one thing in my journey because without that, I wouldn't be on my journey. I stepped out on faith by moving here from Miami. I had two suitcases and nowhere to live.
Mm.
I've bought a home. I've established a business, and I've turned my life around over and over and over. And I want to say this before I leave: people think that transition only belongs to people that are transitioning. Honey,
Mm.
human beings, we're always transitioning. I've transitioned so many times through the mind. I've transitioned through my spirit. I've even transitioned through my body. But the thing about it is, you, Brandon, you're transitioning right now. We're all transitioning, and faith in is a huge part of transition because sometimes we don't even see it, but we've seen it. And we haven't touched it, but we know that it's physically there for us. And only faith and walking through faith will allow us to get that vision that was placed.
You know, TS, you helped a lot of people tonight with your story. What I really like about your story is that you're very transparent. Hey, this is me, accept it or not. And so to that young person watching or whoever it is, the desired outcome for this show tonight was just to give somebody that courage to own who you are, live your best life, because we're only here for a short amount of time.
So make it count.
Make it count. Everybody, that's media personality, social media guru icon, the one and only T.S. Madison. Thank you, T.S., for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, everybody. That was T.S. Madison. Before I bring out my next guest, we're going to go to commercial. As you all know, we have to pay those bills. We'll see you in just a moment.
She went from being 14 years old to 2 years old in just 1 week. Hi, this is Connie B, letting you know about the release of my new book, When Screaming Isn't Enough. This is a riveting true story of my 14-year-old daughter being bit by an infectious mosquito. So just go on Amazon.com to get your copy today of When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B. That's When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B on Amazon.com.
Thanks owner Craig Joseph of Houston, This Is It Soul Food, and sponsor of The Brandon Holt Show. Be sure and stop by and enjoy some tremendous food. 2712 Blodgett Street, McGregor, Houston, Texas. Thanks, Craig.
My next guest hails all the way from Oakland, California. She has a master's degree in theater. She has showcased her talents as an actress, producer, director, production manager, and casting director. She's worked with superstars from Cheryl Lee Ralph, Kelly Price, Elise Neal, Jennifer Holliday, Michael Collier, just to name a few. She is the star of the hit series I Hate My Coworker. She won Best Comedic Actress at LA Web Festival and won Best Dramatic Actress in Tammy Mack's Bag Lady web series. She is the production manager of Michael Collier's one-man show called Mama and NAACP award-winning show Tammy Mack's Big Lady, which is on a world tour commissioned by AIDS Healthcare Foundation. Everybody online, help me. Put your hands together for the one and only Miss Meka Blessing.
Woo! Thank you.
Meka, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for that introduction. I appreciate it.
Very grateful for you coming on the show. Now, you're in California.
Yes, I am.
I hear it's pretty hot out there right now.
It is like super hot. And
Wow.
I live in Lancaster, so it's kind of like the desert. So it's extremely hot.
So, Meka, I've read your bio and I've been following you and watching a lot about you. You have you're a production manager for Michael Collier, his one-man show called Mama. What is it like for a typical day in the life of a production manager?
Manager pretty much runs everything. I'm more of a producer, actually. I started off as a production manager, and I kind of go into doing both, but I make sure that everything is running right and every area is taken care of. So then that way, every lane that each person is in, whether it's the director, the lighting, the sound, the graphics, marketing, anything that's going on in each person that has like a supervisor in each area, I'm pretty much the person that makes sure that everything is flowing so that way they don't have any worries. I take the worries off of everybody.
So growing up, did you always want to be in show business?
Yeah, I always wanted to be an actress. Always. Always
And
wanted to be an actress from a
okay.
little girl.
So have you ever ran into an obstacle? I know the field is so competitive. Can you recall that time where you kind of hit that road bump and you had to decide, do I really want to do this or should I go in another direction?
Wow, that happens quite often. Especially, coming here and thinking that, I got here in like 2007 after graduating from Grambling with a master's degree and then came here. And I just was like, oh, I'm gonna have a sitcom by this year, and I'm gonna have the movies, and it didn't happen that way. And
Mm.
so I started stage managing, and I traveled with Ella Joyce for 5 years doing her one woman show called Rose Among Thorn, and I caught people feeling like I wasn't an actress. They didn't know me as that, and they only knew me as a stage manager, production manager, or producer. So then I started to question, should I even be doing this? You know what I mean? Am I not supposed to act? Am I only supposed to do production because people seem to only know me as that? And so I had to redirect that and start pulling back from production and start getting more into acting so that way people can really see that. And then once I started working with Don B. Welch, and he was putting me into plays, and I started.
Malika Blessing, we're going to go right to commercial real quick and we'll bring her right back out. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Show proudly supports author Cheryl Cobb's phenomenal read, Dirty Little Secrets, combat veteran Disney executive Sergeant Major Keith L. Craig's newest monument, Serving to Lead, director, actor Louis T. Powell's award-winning Padlock Men, actor Roe Brooks' remarkable story from extra to actor, the lovely Nikki Chu's hit TV show Unboxed with Nikki Chu, JC's newest release, Suicide, Raheem Devon's newest album, The Love Reunion, Brian McKnight's newest album, Exodus, Grammy Award-winning Jody Watley's latest classic, The Healing, The Voice Season 16, Matthew Johnson's Game Changer, Used. Be sure to show some love.
Malika, we lost you. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
It was getting so good, the feed just went off.
Yeah, that was the attack of the enemy.
Speaking of that, Malika, can you recall that one line in the movie that you wish you could have taken back?
A line in a movie that I wish I could have taken back.
When you were on camera, was there that one moment where you said, I wish I could have redid that?
I can't say that because I really have been trained to be prepared. You know what I mean? And so I can't really say that.
So, Malika, what message, when you're in front of the camera, whether it's as a producer, a production manager, an actress, director, what message are you sending people with your words?
Number one, I'm a big person on knowing what your gifts are, and because God has given all of us an intuitive gift, He's given all of us this, and being able to utilize that. And I think that I get lost in my gift sometimes and not realizing, especially in different areas, because I'm just used to just going and doing. And so a lot of times people are saying like, they call me the Olivia Pope of production because I'm always putting out fires or I'm smiling and no one can tell when there's a problem or an issue. So I think when people are able to see that I can move smoothly and I can take care of things and I hone into what God has given me, that if you can do the same, that you can't do anything but excel.
Self-care is so important, Malika. what are some things that you do to practice self-care when you're not working in the entertainment industry?
Well, I have an 8-year-old little son. So he takes a lot of my time.
I can imagine.
Yeah, he is. He takes a lot of my time, but I read the word. I pray. I'm very close to my parents. My mom and my dad. So I'm always constantly trying to make sure they're okay in our relationship and what we have. But I can say just really sitting back and thanking God and just having a moment to myself, especially during this quarantine because I'm usually so busy and juggling so many projects. And I really have to stop and just be grateful and thankful that I have a roof and I have my kids and I have food and I have this and I have my fiance who's there for me and I was forgetting about family
Mm,
time. I was forgetting
mm,
about everything else because I'm a workaholic.
mhm.
So it made me redirect and have to say, okay, so now I'm working out twice a day, getting my body back, how I want it to be, but also not just for, physical, but just for health reasons, eating proper, drinking more water, cutting things out of my life that I didn't before just to give me energy and juice. So I think that this quarantine really made me readjust and focus on what is it that was important, which was self-care and family, really.
So Malika, you have a new web series coming out, Tess and Jackie.
Yes.
That is so, I like the name, Tess and Jackie. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's called Tess and Jackie, hashtag Life AF. Me and my best friend, Tiffany Rebecca Royale, we have our production company, Royal Bless Entertainment. And it was co-created with another best friend of mine, Jamie and Parker. And we're like the modern day Lucy and Ethel, the Pam and Gina. We're always in situations and trying to get out of the situations. And right now we have one episode out where she thinks I have the coronavirus,
Mm.
and that's on YouTube under Royal Bless Entertainment. And so we've shot 5 episodes right now. We're getting ready. And I'm just excited about it. I can't wait for you guys to see it.
So Malika, how can people follow you? How can they get in touch with you? How can they watch your material on a regular basis?
I'm sorry, the phone cut in. I couldn't hear you. You said what?
How can people follow you on social media?
Oh, please follow me on Instagram, actress Malika Blessing, on Facebook, actress Malika Blessing, my company, Royal Blessing Entertainment, under Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Malika,
Yes.
what is your desired outcome?
Sitcom. I want to star in a sitcom. And, I mean, it's going to happen. Just timing, but that's what I want. That's my desire.
How important is it to speak what you want and go after and get it? Because somebody out there watching, maybe they're at a crossroads trying to decide which way they want to go with their career. How important is it for that person to just speak it into existence and go get it?
You have to believe it. You have to believe it like you know
Mm,
your name. Like I know my name is Malika. Like how we
mm,
get up in the morning and when we wake up and we know we're going to brush our teeth, we're going to have breakfast, we're going to do this. We have to have that same mentality when it comes to our dreams and desires. And no matter what, God gave you that gift. Just like he gave me a gift, he gave you that gift.
mm,
We didn't ask for it. So if we continue to believe that what God has given us and continue to have faith and trust in him, our time is coming, our time is now, but we got to believe it. And sometimes we may get the attack of the enemy. They come and different things that try to get us to think that we can't and we're not able, but we're always able. Because if we can wake up every morning and God blesses us, each day you should be doing something towards your
mm.
career or your career of choice, especially if you know that that's what you want to do in your path. Don't give up. That's the main thing I can say is don't give up. Trust in
Don't give
God.
up.
Believe in him. He gave it to
Mm.
you.
And with your name, Blessing, that is so fitting to what you just said.
Yes. And give back. Don't hesitate to help others. A lot of times we don't want to put our hand out and help someone else. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer in promoting and encouraging. And when you do that, and when you bless someone else with that same feeling of what you want and plant those seeds in other people, it's gonna come back. It has to.
What a good word, Malika. Everybody, that is actor, actress, producer, production manager, director, the one and only Malika Blessing. Be sure to look out for her new web series, Tess and Jackie. Follow her on social media. Thank you so much, Malika, for stopping by the show.
Okay.
And we hope to see you in the near future. All right, everybody, that was Malika Blessing. We're going to go to commercial real quick. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
She went from being 14 years old to 2 years old in just 1 week. Hi, this is Connie B, letting you know about the release of my new book, When Screaming Isn't Enough. This is a riveting true story of my 14-year-old daughter being bit by an infectious mosquito. So just go on Amazon.com to get your copy today of When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B. That's When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B on Amazon.com.
Thanks owner Craig Joseph of Houston, This Is It Soul Food, and sponsor of The Brandon Holt Show. Be sure and stop by and enjoy some tremendous food. 2712 Blodgett Street, McGregor, Houston, Texas. Thanks, Craig.
Everyone, my next guest hails from Toledo, Ohio in 1980. He moved to Los Angeles, California. He worked 30 plus years in the retail industry. He is the leader and founder of Style by Night. He is a reputable fashion stylist, an image consultant whose work has been seen by millions all over the world. He has now taken his vision to a whole nother level. In the last 4 years, he has elevated his business, providing services for gentlemen and ladies that include styling, wardrobe, makeovers, personal shopping, and image consulting. My next guest said that his faith is the engine that drives his success. All the way from Corona, California, help me welcome the owner, the founder of Style by Night, the one and only Kerry Mitchell. Kerry Mitchell, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm good, Kerry. How are you?
I'm great. And first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show.
Kerry, we're hearing an echo in the background.
Still an echo, huh? Okay. Let me try to relocate and we'll try it again.
Kerry, we're going to come back to you.
Okay.
We're going to bring Meka Diamond on next.
Okay.
Everybody, we're going to come back to Kerry Mitchell. Let me go ahead and introduce this next phenomenal guest on the show tonight. My next guest, she hails all the way from Houston, Texas. She is the driving force behind many growth opportunities. She is the founder and president of Visible Evidence and Alif Really Cares nonprofit organization. She is a marketing genius featured in several magazines from Beautifully Said magazine, Get Up or Queen Up, Houston Global magazine, 725 magazine, Voyage Houston, just to name a few. She is the host and radio personality of Morning Tea, the voice of Houston. She has spent her entire career in service to others. And what I like about my next guest as well is that she's really active in the community. Everybody, we're about to bring on Meka Diamond. Meka Diamond is having some technical issues. We're going to go right back to commercial. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
She went from being 14 years old to 2 years old in just 1 week. Hi, this is Connie B, letting you know about the release of my new book, When Screaming Isn't Enough. This is a riveting true story of my 14-year-old daughter being bit by an infectious mosquito. So just go on Amazon.com to get your copy today of When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B. That's When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B on Amazon.com.
Show proudly supports author Cheryl Cobb's phenomenal read, Dirty Little Secrets, combat veteran Disney executive Sergeant Major Keith L. Craig's newest monument, Serving to Lead, director, actor Louis T. Powell's award-winning Padlock Men, actor Roe Brooks' remarkable story from extra to actor, the lovely Nikki Chu's hit TV show Unboxed with Nikki Chu, JC's newest release, Suicide, Raheem Devon's newest album, The Love Reunion, Brian McKnight's newest album, Exodus, Grammy Award-winning Jody Watley's latest classic, The Healing, The Voice Season 16, Matthew Johnson's Game Changer, Used. Be sure to show some love.
Everybody help me welcome the one and only radio personality, the voice of Houston, Miss Meka Diamond. Meka Diamond, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you, Meka. I know that you're very busy for stopping by the show.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way.
So, Meka, you are the voice of Houston. Everyone hears you every single morning. You're inspirational. You're in the community, making a difference. You're all over social media, just helping as many people as you can. You are the founder and CEO of Visible Evidence, which is a consulting firm. Tell us kind of how your journey got started and how it led you to where you are today.
Wow. So it started in a hair salon. I was a hairstylist for 15 years, and Visible became the name for what I was giving to clients that was sitting in my chair. And Evidence was the results that happened after whatever the vision was that they gave me and whatever I did for them. So it started in a hair salon, and I built relationships in my hair salon with those. And relationships are the currency. And so out of those relationships, everybody would always ask me what they needed to get a certain service from, or the conversations that I would have in the chair. I met many of people, from attorneys, event planners, photographers, videographers. So everyone, I was the connector. So it started as people calling me and asking me for people that they needed to speak with for a particular service. And so after I got so many phone calls, I said, well, I need to add some dollars to it. So it became a revenue sharing program. So I was getting a percentage off of everyone that I referred to these particular businesses. So that's how Visible Evidence began.
So what's your ultimate goal for the brand?
My ultimate goal is to continue to nourish the seeds that are being planted in individuals by any means necessary. I get a high off of those growing based off of my resources, or how I can help them, be it marketing or whatever platform that I'm utilizing to help them grow, bring exposure to their business or their organization, or if they're having an event coming up. So that's what makes me happy. If you want to say my happy place, if you want to ask me what my happy place is, it's making sure that whatever I can help provide to see other seeds and babies be birthed. That's what my vision is with Visible Evidence.
Meka, you have a very calming spirit, very humble spirit when you're out on the air. What kind of voices go through your head when you have a guest on the radio show?
Oh, wow. Plenty of voices. Listen, depending on what type of guest they are.
Right.
But really making sure that whatever it is, whatever that time frame is that they are on the air, that we are making sure that we achieve their goal, whether it be to bring finances to their nonprofit organization in order to provide a specific service, whatever it is in the community for community outreach, whatever it is that I can do, whatever it is that we both can meet the goal. And what I ask them, the questions, is what goes through my head the whole time from the beginning to the end, is making sure that the goal is accomplished, whether it be exposure, whether it be funding for a specific, of course, nonprofit organization or fundraiser, whatever it is that I could do to make sure that I'm utilizing that platform for whatever the goal is what goes through my head the entire time.
So Meka, have you ever had a time where you just kind of felt like giving up? Like, hey, this isn't for me. I gave it a run. I did what I could do. I'm throwing in the towel, appreciative for the career, but I'm going in another direction. How did you overcome that and continue pushing?
I never have had that moment. I never have had that moment. And the reason why is because I realize that it's my purpose to do what I am doing. And when God has blessed you with gifts, he has to trust you to be able to utilize the gifts that he's given you in order to do whatever it is that he wants you to do. So I have never had that day where I said I wanted to give up because I knew that it was something that I'm supposed to be doing. Now, there has been some tired days. There has been some exhausting days.
Right.
But to say that it was something that I wanted to give up on, it hasn't, because definitely have grown individuals based on the things that I do. And that's me happy.
So tell me about Morning Tea. Where did you come up with the title, and what's the concept of the show?
Wow, the Morning Tea. Wow. So everybody know the tea, the gossip, right? So the tea became the title of the show because I wanted to utilize the platform to have conversations, not necessarily gossip, but to utilize the platform for those who wanted to, who have been suffering through some things, who have had weight on their shoulders for years, and now they have a safe space, a comfortable space to be able to talk about it, discuss it. And then have others give a perspective about the topics that we talk about. So my morning tea topics are things that happen each and every day. They're realities of life. Maybe the individuals who are on the platform have went through them, or maybe someone they knew. And I always say, keep on, because you never know when that experience will knock on your door. And if it does, then you'll know how to handle it based on the conversations that we have. So that's how I came up with the morning tea, not for the gossip, but for the good dialogue and adult conversations.
Meka, we're going to come back after a commercial because I want to talk about a couple more things with you, and I want to kind of take it into more of a serious nature. So everybody, we're going to go to commercial real quick. Meka, hold tight.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
She went from being 14 years old to 2 years old in just 1 week. Hi, this is Connie B, letting you know about the release of my new book, When Screaming Isn't Enough. This is a riveting true story of my 14-year-old daughter being bit by an infectious mosquito. So just go on Amazon.com to get your copy today of When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B. That's When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B on Amazon.com.
Brandon thanks owner Craig Joseph of Houston, This Is It Soul Food, and sponsor of The Brandon Holt Show. Be sure and stop by and enjoy some tremendous food. 2712 Blodgett Street, McGregor, Houston, Texas. Thanks, Craig.
Racial tension is at an all-time high. The world is in chaos. People are confused. People are scared just to step outside of their home. What does the Black Lives Matter movement mean to you?
Wow. So it definitely hits home for me. One, I have conversations on my show where some may like them and some may not, but my brother was actually killed in gang violence. And I always have this question: does Black lives really matter across the board? Not just when it comes to a different race, but Black on Black crime. So I'm a stickler for, if we're going to say that Black lives matter, then it should be across the board. Everybody should be able to nurture the communities as we used to do. So Black Lives Matter means a lot to me based on the fact of, I really hope and pray that we understand the legislative laws. We get in our communities and start doing the things that we used to do. Go to the school board meetings, go to the community meetings, and make sure that we are utilizing this time, not just hold our fists up and not just to be a part of protests, but to actually dig in the trenches and see what can we do as a culture in order to change the movement. Right now, we have the Congressional Black Caucus that's going on right now. What are we doing outside of the protests? What are we doing to understand why we should vote and who we should vote for? So it's a very touchy subject for me. I love the movement, but I think it's a lot more than just walking on the pavement and holding protests and holding this up.
So Meka, as an African-American female, what obstacles have you faced in the industry, and how did you overcome these obstacles?
In the industry, as an African-American female, I really haven't faced a lot of things. I'm one of those who dig in the trenches and get dirty for whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve. So if I put my mind to it, if it's a goal set of mine, then I'm going to get in the room with the individuals that's going to help me achieve the goal. I'm going to build relationships with those who will help me along the way. And I'm going to nurture those relationships so that I can have longevity in whatever it is that I'm trying to do, whatever it is that I'm focused on. But I will say, for those who have an issue or they have some issues or going through some things as an individual, as an African-American woman, reach out to those who can help you along the way. I think as a culture, we have gotten in a way of one another and not wanting to reach out and get the help, the resources, the education that we need. And if you know of someone, that's one of the things that you should do. I am connected with a lot of people because of my service work, because of the things that I do within the community, which has put me in a lot of places that I never would have imagined I would be in. And so I would say that would be part of something that I would do, is to build and nurture relationships with individuals that can help you along the way.
Meka, where do you get your inspiration from? Who's your mentor?
My mentor, the Lord Jesus Christ. That is my mentor. People ask me that all the time when it comes to media. I never would have imagined that I would be in this space. I was the child in the classroom that didn't want to raise my hand. I didn't want the attention, even though I knew the answer. And so you just have to look at it as God put you in a place. He put you in a place for a reason. And when you realize why he placed you there, and you realize the blessings and the nurtured relationships and how you've grown in that area, that's the inspiration for me, to make sure that I'm doing whatever God has blessed me with. He trusts me enough to be able to do it. So I put forth the effort. I go 110%, making sure that I do whatever is necessary to keep pushing.
So how can people follow Meka Diamond?
Wow, everywhere. No, I'm just joking. You can follow me on all of my social media platforms. I'm Meka Diamond on Facebook. I'm Meka_Diamond on Instagram, as well as Visible Evidence, and it's spelled VZABLE, Evidence in Court. I'm also on Twitter, or you can reach me. You can follow me every Monday through Friday on the Morning Tea Radio Show from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time on gmtradio.com.
Meka, we're very proud of you in the Houston community, and we're grateful for your service work, and we wish nothing but the best for you. Come back and see us sometime, Meka Diamond.
I will. Thank you.
Everybody, that is Meka Diamond, radio personality. Before I bring out my last guest for this evening, we're going to go back to commercial. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And Holt Show proudly supports author Cheryl Cobb's phenomenal read, Dirty Little Secrets, combat veteran Disney executive Sergeant Major Keith L. Craig's newest monument, Serving to Lead, director, actor Louis T. Powell's award-winning Padlock Men, actor Roe Brooks' remarkable story from extra to actor, the lovely Nikki Chu's hit TV show Unboxed with Nikki Chu, JC's newest release, Suicide, Raheem Devon's newest album, The Love Reunion, Brian McKnight's newest album, Exodus, Grammy Award-winning Jody Watley's latest classic, The Healing, The Voice Season 16, Matthew Johnson's Game Changer, Used. Be sure to show some love.
She went from being 14 years old to 2 years old in just 1 week. Hi, this is Connie B, letting you know about the release of my new book, When Screaming Isn't Enough. This is a riveting true story of my 14-year-old daughter being bit by an infectious mosquito. So just go on Amazon.com to get your copy today of When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B. That's When Screaming Isn't Enough by Connie B on Amazon.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest hails from Toledo, Ohio. In 1980, he moved to Los Angeles after working 30-plus years in retail. He is the leader and founder of Style by Night. He is a reputable fashion stylist, image consultant, whose work has been seen and viewed by millions. He has now taken his vision to new heights. In the last 4 years, he has elevated his business to providing services for gentlemen and ladies that includes styling, wardrobe, makeovers, personal shopping, and image consulting. His faith is the engine that drives his success. Everyone put your hands together for personal stylist Carrie Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, good evening. Mr. Mitchell, are you there? All right, everyone, we're having difficulties with Mr. Mitchell. We will play his interview tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to the Brandon Holt Show, where your voice matters. Until next Tuesday, we'll see you next time.